What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Nathan. As you can see, we've got yet another wet, gloomy Melbourne day. We're going to do a quick review on the Kenwood DDX9019DABS head unit, or DABS. The DABS stands for digital radio, so you know. This is pretty much the latest and greatest from Kenwood. So we'll go through how it works, how it looks, the features, all that good stuff. Guys, so here we have the front of the unit. We've got the 7-inch Kenwood touchscreen display. This is a capacitive touch, which is perfect. HD display on this unit, so the screen really does look good. Basically, we've got doubled in, so full size doubled in with all of the normal doubled in screws, which are basically universal. In the back of the unit, we've got some stuff that we'll go through together. So basically, where do we start? All right, let's start here. So we've got 3 RCAs. So you've got a dash camera input, and now that works with this plug here. So if you buy the Kenwood made dash camera, you plug it in, you're obviously mounted on the windscreen, you can run the wiring down, you can plug it in here and plug it in to, where is it? Dash camera. And then what that will give you is video input and power to the camera. I think it does also need some external powers, which you can tap off the main radio harness, and then you've pretty much got full control of the dash camera through the head unit. So that's pretty cool. Now, it only is a 1-channel camera, so it's front only, but it's still a really good solution. There's a video output, so you could send that to, you know, headrest screens or roof mount, something like that in the back. Front view camera input and rear camera. So, by the way, front camera and dash camera are the same RCA. Here we've got remote in, so this will be for a steering wheel control module. So whether you hardwire that or get a plug and play module, it will just plug into that, and then you've got remote. Now on the unit you can actually set the buttons. So when you plug into this, you can set the buttons. However, on the loom, Kenwood also have a wire for steering wheel controls. So if you go by the wire with a plug and play module, you just go by what's preset. If you get a programmable module, or if you hardwire it, you can then assign the buttons yourself. Microphone, GPS antenna. Now, I'm pretty sure the unit doesn't have inbuilt nav, but what this GPS is for is to pretty much help reception. So if you're using Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, this will help with reception. So you're not just relying on your phone for GPS reception, you've actually got an external antenna, and it really helps. Dash cam we went through. AV input, so there's a plug that plugs into this and it gives you the 3 RCAs, yellow, red, white, for AV input. 2 USBs, so one will do CarPlay, Android Auto. I think it's either one does CarPlay, one does Android Auto, or one does both. That definitely does CarPlay, and then the other one is just for music, USBs and like movies. There we go, there's a nav plug there. So if you buy the external navigation module, you can plug that in and off you go. So yeah, this unit does not have navigation built in. You can buy a module and have it done, but no one really uses it anymore because Apple CarPlay, Android Auto have maps, Google Maps, all that stuff. We have the universal antenna, have an AV audio output, digital radio antenna plug, 3 RCA outputs. So what do we have? Subwoofer, front speakers, rear speakers. So if you ever did an amplifier setup, you can obviously run all channels from this head unit. And main power plug and remote output. So one thing we actually had a subscriber ask on one of the last videos was if we can do mirroring on these units, and that a unit similar to this didn't have the HDMI. Now looking at it, it's sort of hard to see whether it does have HDMI. Right here, you remove that screw, and if you read there it says HDMI, which is sort of hard to see. There's right down in there, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, in there, that's your HDMI. So you remove that screw and then you've got HDMI, and what you can do is buy a HDMI dongle from Kenwood, plug it in, power it up, Then you pair your phone to the dongle and you've got mirroring. That's the way to use YouTube and that sort of stuff, because through Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you can't use YouTube. Through mirroring, whatever's on the phone screen is on the head unit screen. That's about it, guys. So let's boot this thing up and see how it looks. Alright guys, so we've got this thing powered up with the power supply, so let's go ahead and press the power on button. Now you don't need to do this every time, so when you've got this all wired up correctly in the car, when you start the car or turn the car on, the unit will boot up itself, which is what it did. But if you press and hold this button, it will turn the unit off, which is what I've done, and then we can just go ahead and press that again. So we open up with the Kenwood splash screen. Okay, it doesn't take very long to boot up. This warning will always come up, so you can remove it automatically after 10 seconds. And then we've got the home screen. So as we can see here, we have the wallpaper that moves. Hopefully the video is doing it justice, but the screen looks really, really good. Yeah, just getting a look at that looks it's awesome. So you can scroll through, you've got some different things here. So we've got time and date, and as you can see, you've got 3 little different screen pages there. So we've got two separate things. You've got direction there, time, wallpaper. You can change these wallpapers as well, so you can put your own stuff on there. You've got, this is showing you FM. That's another little widget screen there. I'm just thinking if you can change this wallpaper as well. I'm not too sure. Okay, so obviously pressing that will get you into FM or AM radio. Scroll over again, or to the full wallpaper. It will demo through this sort of stuff, so if you turn demo mode off, it will stay on what you want. Alright, at the bottom we've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto widget are both there now. So normally in the older units there's nothing there until you plug in the phone. Digital radio. Alright, so we don't have any of the antennas plugged in, but basically if you just press that, it will start searching. Yeah, just trying to see if we can get it to try and search without the antenna plugged in. Home will bring us right back to that wallpaper screen that we were on. Telephone obviously works after you've connected Bluetooth, so it's going to try and get us to connect now, and then after you've connected you'll be able to go through recent calls, contacts, favorites, dial a number. Voice control works as well. Back will bring us back to the home screen. Alright, we can't scroll that way. We've got a little menu button here, so if we open that up, this is going to bring up all the other widgets that the unit has. So radio, wireless mirroring, that's pretty cool. So this unit actually does wireless mirroring now, so you don't need to buy that adapter that we were speaking of earlier. In the older units you do. So this unit will do wireless. Bluetooth we went through. Spotify will work through Bluetooth. iPod, which is one of the USBs. Disc, so basically we've got a little eject button. Hit disc eject, unit opens up, and you've got disk space right there. It's only one CD DVD. Press the same key, it will close. USB, obviously the back of the unit. Now these are quite short, so they've also got extensions that come in the box, so you plug them in, tape them up, run that over to wherever you want, center console, glove box normally, something like that. HDMI input, which I showed you where that is. Next screen over, AV input, we went through that. Audio, so let's have a look in the audio. Alright, so we've got a whole bunch of things you can play with in here. Speaker crossover. Alright, these are always good to set. So if you're just changing the head unit, nothing else, you've got factory speakers in the car, you can have a look at changing these around, depending on the car. Say you go something like that, 80 Hertz, 80 or less, or maybe 100, really depends on the car, but just have a play, turn it up, see what sounds good. front and rear. Definitely set your frequency, and even, you know, start here, turn it up, you know, and just play with it until you find what works perfect for you. But this will definitely help the sound. I think a lot of this stuff you don't need to play with, but you know, you've got equalizer, so you can set all of this stuff on your own. You've also got preset, so you can play with some of the preset settings. Really depends on the music you listen to and how you want it to sound before you start playing with that stuff, but it doesn't hurt. Everything can be set back to standard, so it doesn't matter. Fader, that goes, obviously you can left, right, rear, whatever you want, leave it in the middle. Offset, zone control, sound effects, audio memory are really, you know, bass boost, loudness, all this sort of stuff. I don't really play with it, but it might not hurt. Really, again, it depends on the car, but yeah, I usually just leave most of that stuff standard. Do the crossover, you know, and then just play. It doesn't hurt to have a go. And then coming back to this screen, you've obviously got standby. So this will just turn, so the screen is still on, but everything is off. So you're not gonna have radio output, nothing like that. It's just set to standard. All right. Okay, now down on the bottom here, we've got some volume down, volume up, camera. If you've got your dash cam plugged in, you press that, brings up the dash camera screen. Home, which is where we are now. Menu, so screen adjustment. So you can change the backlight on the screen itself. All right, as you can see, so 4 is the highest. Menu, turn the display off. You've got camera, so that's going to show you the rear camera or front camera. Setup, there's a whole bunch of things you can go through here. This is where you do your steering wheel remote control. So if you've got that jack plugged in that we were talking about, you go ahead and set this stuff. Widget setup, so you've got the photo frame widget on. What else have we got in here? So you can do GPS sync for time and date, so when the antenna's plugged in, it will do that automatically. Navigation, which we don't have. Special settings, so demo, we turn that off. Initialization, all that sort of stuff you don't need to play with. Bluetooth. Alright, these are just simple settings. You really don't need to play with much of this stuff, but just showing you there is a lot of stuff that you can go through. Now, let's try something. Okay, you see what we've just done there? So you can change your main home screen widget. So for me, I would have CarPlay, digital radio for sure, don't use Android Auto, telephone, and probably radio. Alright, cool. How good is that, right? So very personalized. Now, basically what we go ahead and do, plug in your device, allow. Sorry about that wind. Jeez, I even closed the shed and it's so loud. And there we go, Apple CarPlay. So these are some of the apps that you can use. Spotify, WhatsApp, Waze. This is getting really popular. Audible, iHeartRadio, podcasts. Now Playing will just bring you to whatever you were playing last. Phone, music, maps, messages. This stuff here makes it truly hands-free. Like when you know, say let's go, the microphone's not connected, so it's not going to pick up what we're saying, but you can do things like, it might pick this up. Hey Siri. Okay, now you can say, you know, take me to the nearest petrol station. Hello? Take me to the yeah. So it's not picking up our voice because the microphone's not connected, but that's what you do, what I've just done there. You know, take me to the nearest petrol station, call Joe Blog, do this, do that, right? Or, you know, you can press that. Again, she's gonna say right now, who do you want to call? You can just show your contacts and just go through and call whoever you want, go through your recents. All right, music brings up Apple Music just as it would on your phone, so you can go ahead and browse new music. Right, it's just like that. Maps, go destinations. All right, so you can go through recent things you've looked up. I was looking up some stuff in America, or you can go ahead here and just tap the microphone, tell Siri exactly where you want to go or the exact address. You can just go ahead and type where you want to go. Pretty cool. Messages, there's no typing on messages, it's all speech. So even here, you can create a new, go through your unread, or just show messages, and then you've got all this sort of stuff, right? So if I read a message from Natasha, it's just Siri will read it out to me, and then I can tell her what to reply. Yeah, that's about it, guys. So that's how CarPlay works. And then when you press your home button, we're back to that HD screen. This screen is so good, by the way. Apple CarPlay's little widgets up there ready to go. Phone doesn't need to be on. And then you've just got everything else still working as normal. And then if you do decide you want to go use your maps, we'll go CarPlay and we'll go maps. Or play some music or whatever. That's about it, guys. So let's have a look at display. Here we go. So if you hang on, screen transition, so that's when you see the screen moving. So if you want that on or off, you can leave it on or off. Wallpaper customization, so if you plug in a USB with your wallpaper on it, it'll come up here. You can go ahead and select and use the image that you want. I just wanted to see, the only thing is the wallpapers that are on the front screen are not here, so let's just go ahead and see. Small text, widget. Yeah, it must be that. Oh, and then your Wi-Fi setup. So if you do want to go ahead and connect Wi-Fi, that's the login credentials. For the wallpaper, I went through all the settings. That's it. So that will be the only one. All right. You go ahead and plug in a USB, and you can customize your wallpaper screens. That is about it for the unit, guys. Yes, if you want to see Android Auto, just let me know and I'll do another video. But if you go through our videos, I've done an Android Auto video on a Sony head unit and it works the exact same. So we can see here CarPlay, whether it's on this unit or another unit, CarPlay stays the same, and that's the same with Android Auto. But if you do want to see it on this unit, let me know. And also Android Auto will be doing an update soon, and when they do that update, I'll definitely do a video to show you guys how it works. And that's about it, guys. So that's pretty much the unit, how it works. If there's anything else you want to see, just drop a comment below. As always, like, subscribe, help us out. We're happy to show you how-to videos, reviews, anything mobile electronics, no issues at all. And I don't know if you can see, but it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna go back inside. Thanks for watching, guys.